Maya Johnson woke up early that Tuesday morning. She looked at herself in the mirror as she put on her navy blue uniform. The uniform had many shiny medals on it. Each medal told a story of brave things she had done while serving her country. Maya was a Navy SEAL. Not many women could say that. Even fewer black women could say that. She had been in the military for 12 years. She had gone to dangerous places around the world. She had saved lives. She had protected people who could not protect themselves. Her uniform showed all of this. But today she was not going to a military base. She was going to a courthouse. Maya's younger brother Marcus was in trouble. He had gotten into a fight with another driver on the road last month. The other driver said Marcus hit his car on purpose. Marcus said it was an accident. Now Marcus had to go to court. The judge would decide who was telling the truth. Maya loved her brother very much. Marcus was a good person. He worked hard at his job. He helped their mother pay her bills. He had never been in serious trouble before. Maya knew that Marcus would never hurt someone on purpose. She wanted to help him. The lawyer told Maya that she could speak for Marcus in court. She could tell the judge what kind of person Marcus really was. This was called being a character witness. Maya was happy to do this for her brother. She drove to the courthouse in her small blue car. The courthouse was a big gray building in the center of town. Many people walked in and out of the building. Some wore suits. Some wore uniforms like police officers. Some looked worried. Some looked angry. Maya parked her car and walked toward the building. She walked with straight shoulders and her head up high. This was how she learned to walk in the military. People often noticed how she walked. It showed that she was confident and strong. As she walked up the steps, Maya noticed some people looking at her. A few people pointed at her uniform. She heard one man whisper to his friend, "Look at all those medals." Maya was used to people looking at her uniform. Most people respected it. Most people thanked her for her service, but not everyone felt that way. Inside the courthouse, Maya went through the metal detector. She put her keys and phone in a small plastic box. The security guard was polite to her. He said, "Thank you for your service, ma'am." Maya smiled and said, "Thank you." After the security check, Maya looked for the right courtroom. The courthouse was big and confusing. There were many hallways and many doors. She looked at the signs on the walls. She found the right hallway and walked toward courtroom number 3. As she walked down the hall, Maya saw another security guard standing near the courtroom door. This guard was different from the first one. He was a big man with short gray hair. His name tag said B. Thompson. He was looking at Maya with unfriendly eyes. Officer Bradley Thompson had worked at the courthouse for 8 years. He did not like his job very much. He felt that too many criminals came through the courthouse every day. He thought the judges were too easy on them. He believed that people needed to be taught lessons the hard way. Thompson had strong opinions about many things. He did not like it when young people wore their pants too low. He did not like it when people talked too loud in the courthouse. He especially did not like it when people came to court wearing expensive clothes or jewelry. He thought they were showing off. Thompson also had opinions about people based on the color of their skin. He would never say these opinions out loud. He knew that would get him in trouble at work. But he thought them. He believed that some people were more likely to be criminals than others. He believed this because of how they looked, not because of what they had done. When Thompson saw Maya walking down the hall, he did not see a war hero. He did not see someone who had risked her life for her country. He did not see the medals on her uniform or think about what they meant. He saw a young black woman in a military uniform, and he did not believe the uniform was real. Thompson had seen people wear fake military uniforms before. Some people did this to get respect they had not earned. Some people did this to get special treatment. Thompson was sure that Maya was one of these people. He was sure she was trying to trick everyone. Maya reached the courtroom and looked at the paper in her hand. She double-checked the room number. Yes, this was the right place. She looked at her watch. She was 30 minutes early. This was good. Maya always liked to be early to important things. She opened the heavy wooden door and walked into the courtroom. The room was big and quiet. There were many wooden benches where people could sit. At the front of the room was the judge's bench. It was tall and made of dark wood. Behind it was an American flag. A few people were already sitting in the courtroom. Some were reading papers. Some were talking quietly to each other. Maya found an empty bench in the middle of the room and sat down. She placed her hands on her knees and sat up straight. Maya looked around the room. She had never been in a courtroom before. It felt serious and important. She thought about what she would say when the judge asked her about Marcus. She wanted to find the right words to help her brother. Officer Thompson watched Maya enter the courtroom. He stood in the hallway for a few minutes, thinking. He was sure something was wrong. Young women like Maya did not belong in military uniforms. Young women like Maya did not have medals like that. Young women like Maya were usually in courtrooms because they were in trouble, not because they were helping someone else. Thompson decided to keep watching Maya. He walked into the courtroom and stood near the back. He pretended to check on the other people in the room, but he kept looking at Maya. She sat very still and very straight. She did not look around nervously like most people did. She did not look worried or scared. This made Thompson even more suspicious. In his experience, innocent people were nervous in courtrooms. Guilty people tried to act calm and confident. Maya was acting too calm. She was acting like she belonged there. Thompson did not think she belonged there at all. Other people in the courthouse had different thoughts about Maya. The bailiff, an older black man named Robert, noticed her uniform right away. He recognized the medals. He had been in the army many years ago. He knew what those medals meant. He felt proud to see a young woman with such honors. The court reporter, a middle-aged white woman named Susan, also noticed Maya. Susan's son was in the Marines. She knew how hard military life could be. She wondered what brave things Maya had done to earn all those medals, but Officer Thompson did not think about any of this. He only thought about his suspicions. He decided that he needed to do something about Maya before she caused trouble in the courtroom. He did not know that Maya had never caused trouble anywhere in her life. He did not know that she had spent 12 years protecting people just like him. Maya sat quietly in the courtroom for about 10 minutes. She used this time to think about what she would say about Marcus. She wanted to tell the judge that Marcus was kind to children. She wanted to explain that he helped old people carry their groceries. She wanted the judge to know that Marcus coached basketball for free at the community center. While Maya was thinking, Officer Thompson walked closer to her bench. He stopped right next to where she was sitting. Maya looked up at him and smiled politely. This was how she had been taught to treat all people in uniform. She respected people who worked to keep others safe. "Excuse me," Thompson said in a loud voice. Other people in the courtroom turned to look at them. "I need to see some identification." Maya was surprised by his tone. It was not friendly. But she had been asked for identification many times before. This was normal when you wore a military uniform. She reached into her small black purse and pulled out her wallet. "Here you go," Maya said calmly. She handed him her military identification card. The card had her picture on it. It had her name, rank, and service number. It showed that she was a lieutenant commander in the United States Navy. Thompson took the card and looked at it for a long time. He held it up to the light. He looked at the front and the back. He was trying to find something wrong with it, but the card was real. Everything on it was correct. "This looks fake to me," Thompson said loudly. More people turned to stare. Maya felt her face get warm. She was embarrassed, but she stayed calm. "Sir, that card is real," Maya said quietly. "I can show you other identification if you need it." "Where did you get this uniform?" Thompson asked. He was standing very close to Maya now, too close. Maya could smell coffee on his breath. She could see anger in his eyes. "The Navy gave it to me when I joined 12 years ago," Maya answered. She kept her voice steady and polite. She had learned in the military that staying calm was the best way to handle difficult people. "I don't believe you," Thompson said. "Young girls like you don't serve in the Navy. You probably bought this uniform at some costume shop." You're trying to fool people. Maya felt hurt by his words. She had worked very hard to earn her place in the Navy. She had gone through training. That made grown men quit. She had proved herself over and over again. But she did not let the hurt show on her face. Sir, I understand your concern, Maya said. But I assure you that I am a real Navy officer. I am here today to speak for my brother in court. I have permission to be here. The other people in the courtroom were watching everything now. Some of them looked uncomfortable. They could see that Thompson was being rude to Maya, but they did not know what to do about it. Stand up, Thompson ordered. His voice was getting louder and angrier. I want to search you. Maya knew she did not have to stand up. She was not doing anything wrong. She was sitting quietly in a public courtroom. She had shown her identification. She had answered his questions politely. But Thompson was a security officer. Maya did not want to cause a scene. She stood up slowly and smoothly. Even when she was being treated badly, Maya moved with the grace she had learned in the military. She kept her back straight and her hands at her sides. Turn around, Thompson said. Put your hands on the bench. Now Maya knew that something was very wrong. Thompson was treating her like a criminal. She had done nothing to deserve this treatment. She looked around the courtroom. The other people were staring at her with wide eyes. She could see that they thought this was wrong too. Sir, I don't think this is necessary, Maya said. Her voice was still calm, but it was getting firmer. I have shown you my identification. I have answered your questions. I am not doing anything wrong. Don't tell me what's necessary, Thompson snapped. I'm in charge of security here. If I say you need to be searched, then you need to be searched. Maya felt a flash of anger in her chest. She had been searched by security many times before. At airports, at military bases, at government buildings. But those searches were done professionally. The security officers were polite and respectful. They explained what they were doing and why Thompson was not being professional. He was not being polite. He was treating her badly because of how she looked. Maya knew this, even though Thompson would never admit it. I understand that you have a job to do, Maya said. But I think you are making a mistake. I am a United States Navy officer. I am here on legitimate business. I would like to speak to your supervisor. This made Thompson even angrier. He did not like it when people questioned his authority. He especially did not like it when people asked for his supervisor. His supervisor had already talked to him twice this year about being too rough with people. You don't get to make demands, Thompson said. He grabbed Maya's arm and squeezed it hard. Turn around right now. Maya felt Thompson's fingers dig into her arm. It hurt, but she had felt much worse pain in her military training. What bothered her more was that he had put his hands on her without permission. In the military, this was never allowed unless someone was truly dangerous. Sir, please let go of my arm, Maya said. Her voice was still controlled, but there was steel in it now. People who knew Maya well would have recognized this tone. It meant that she was reaching the end of her patience. I'll let go when you do what you're told, Thompson said. He squeezed harder and tried to turn Maya around by force. This was Thompson's first big mistake. Maya had been trained to defend herself against people much bigger and stronger than Thompson. She had learned how to get out of grabs and holds. She had learned how to protect herself without hurting others, but Maya did not use her training yet. She was still trying to solve this problem with words. You are hurting me, Maya said clearly. She said it loud enough for everyone in the courtroom to hear. I am asking you to let go of my arm. Several people in the courtroom started to look worried. An older man in a suit started to stand up like he wanted to help. A young woman took out her phone and started recording. Thompson saw the people watching him. He saw the woman with the phone. This made him panic a little. He knew he was supposed to be more careful when people were watching. But he had gone too far to stop now. He felt like he had to prove he was in control. Stop causing a disturbance, Thompson said loudly. You're disturbing the peace in this courtroom. Maya almost laughed at this. She was the one being grabbed and squeezed. She was the one being treated rudely. But Thompson was saying that she was causing the disturbance. I am not causing a disturbance, Maya said. You are the one who is being loud and aggressive. Please let go of my arm so we can discuss this calmly. Instead of letting go, Thompson grabbed Maya's other arm too. Now he had both of her arms in his hands. He started to push her toward the courtroom door. You're coming with me, Thompson said. We're going to straighten this out in private. This was Thompson's second big mistake. Maya knew that being taken somewhere private by an angry person was dangerous. She had been taught never to let someone move her to a place where no one could see what happened. Maya planted her feet firmly on the floor. Thompson was strong, but Maya was strong too. She had spent years building her muscles and learning how to use her body effectively. Thompson could not move her when she did not want to be moved. I am not going anywhere with you, Maya said. Her voice was getting louder now. Let go of me immediately. Thompson was frustrated that he could not move Maya. He was embarrassed that everyone was watching him struggle. He decided to use more force. He pushed Maya hard against the wall next to the courtroom door. This was Thompson's biggest mistake of all. The moment he pushed Maya against the wall, she knew that talking was not going to work. Thompson was not going to listen to reason. He was not going to treat her with respect. He was going to keep using force until someone stopped him. Maya had spent 12 years learning how to stop people who used force against innocent people. Now she was going to use everything she had learned. When Thompson pushed Maya against the wall, everything changed. Maya felt the cold wall against her back. She felt Thompson's hands pressing hard on her shoulders. She could see the anger and hatred in his eyes. In that moment, Maya made a decision. That would change both of their lives forever. Maya had been trained by the best fighters in the world. Navy SEALs learned how to handle people who attacked them. They learned how to protect themselves and others. They learned how to use just enough force to stop a threat, but not more than necessary. All of this training happened very fast in Maya's mind. She did not think about each move she was going to make. Her body knew what to do. Her muscles remembered thousands of hours of practice. First, Maya grabbed Thompson's wrists. Her grip was much stronger than he expected. Thompson tried to pull his hands away, but Maya held them tight. She twisted his wrists in a way that made him let go of her shoulders. Oh, whoa, Thompson yelled. Let go of me. But Maya was not finished. While she held Thompson's wrists, she stepped to the side. This moved her away from the wall. Now Thompson could not trap her against it anymore. Thompson was confused. He had thought Maya was just a young woman pretending to be a soldier. He had not expected her to be strong. He had not expected her to know how to fight. You're under arrest? Thompson shouted. He tried to grab Maya again, but she was ready for him this time. Maya ducked under Thompson's reaching arms. As she ducked, she swept her leg behind his feet. This is called a leg sweep. It is a basic move that every Navy SEAL learns in their first week of training. Thompson's feet were knocked out from under him. He fell backward toward the floor. But Maya was not trying to hurt him badly. As he fell, she controlled his fall with her hands. She made sure he landed on his back instead of his head. Thompson hit the floor with a loud thump. The whole courtroom heard it. Everyone turned to look. They saw the big security guard lying on his back. They saw the small woman in the military uniform standing over him, calm and ready. Thompson was not badly hurt, but he was very surprised. He had fallen down so fast that he did not understand how it happened. One moment he was grabbing Maya, and the next moment he was on the floor, looking up at the ceiling. Stay down, Maya said in a clear, strong voice. I do not want to hurt you, but I will defend myself if I have to. Thompson was embarrassed and angry. He did not want to stay on the floor while everyone watched. He tried to get up quickly, but Maya was watching him carefully. When Thompson started to get up, Maya stepped forward and put her hand on his chest. She did not push hard, but her hand was firm. Thompson could feel the strength in her arm. I said, stay down, Maya repeated. This does not have to get worse. The other people in the courtroom could not believe what they were seeing. The young woman in the uniform had knocked down the big security guard like it was easy. She was not breathing hard. She was not shaking. She looked like she did this kind of thing every day. How did she do that? Whispered an older woman in the front. Ro, I don't know, said the man sitting next to her. But did you see how fast it happened? Thompson looked around at all the faces staring at him. He saw people holding phones, recording everything that was happening. He realized that videos of this would be all over the internet in a few hours. Everyone would see him lying on the floor, beaten by someone half his size. Get away from me, Thompson said. He tried to sound tough, but his voice was shaky. He was scared now, though he would never admit it. Maya took a step back, but she kept watching Thompson carefully. She knew that people who had been embarrassed sometimes did dangerous things. She was ready to protect herself again if she needed to. I will stay away from you if you stay away from me, Maya said. I came here to help my brother. I do not want to fight with anyone. Thompson slowly got to his feet. His back hurt from falling, but he was not seriously injured. He looked at Maya with new eyes. He could see now that she really was a soldier. No one could move like that without serious training, but Thompson was too proud to admit he had made a mistake. He was too angry to apologize. Instead, he decided to make the situation worse. You assaulted a police officer. Thompson yelled, You're going to jail. Maya shook her head sadly. I defended myself against someone who grabbed me and pushed me. Against a wall, everyone here saw what really happened. The people in the courtroom started talking to each other. They had all seen Thompson grab Maya first. They had seen him push her against the wall. They knew that Maya had only defended herself. He's lying, said a young man in a baseball cap. She didn't do anything wrong. That security guard was way out of line, said a woman in a business suit. I saw the whole thing. Someone should call his boss, said an older man. This is not how security guards are supposed to act. Thompson heard all of these comments. He realized that no one was going to support his version of what happened. Everyone had seen him attack Maya first. Everyone had seen her only defend herself. Just then, the courtroom door opened. A tall man in a judge's robe walked in. This was Judge Martinez. He had been in his office preparing for the morning's cases when he heard shouting from the courtroom. Judge. Martinez looked around the room. He saw Thompson standing near the wall, looking angry and embarrassed. He saw Maya standing in the middle of the room, calm but alert. He saw all the people in the courtroom staring at both of them. What is going on in my courtroom? Judge Martinez asked in a stern voice. Everyone started talking at once. The people in the courtroom all wanted to tell the judge what they had seen. They all wanted to make sure Maya was not blamed for defending herself. Order! Judge Martinez said loudly, one person at a time. He pointed to the older man in the front row. You, tell me what happened. The man stood up nervously. Your Honor, that security guard grabbed the young lady for no reason. She was just sitting quietly and he started bothering her. She showed him her military ID, but he said it was fake. Then he grabbed her and pushed her against the wall. Is this true? Judge Martinez asked Maya. Yes, Your Honor, Maya said. I came here to testify for my brother. Officer Thompson asked for identification, and I showed him my military ID. He said it was fake and became aggressive. I tried to resolve the situation peacefully, but he grabbed me and pushed me against the wall. I defended myself using minimal force. Judge Martinez turned to Thompson. Officer Thompson, is this your version of what happened? Thompson's face was red. He knew he was in trouble. Judge, this woman was acting suspicious. She was probably planning to cause trouble. I was just doing my job. Your job is to keep people safe, not to attack innocent citizens, Judge Martinez said angrily. Did you see this woman do anything wrong before you approached her? Thompson could not answer this question honestly. Maya had not done anything wrong. She had been sitting quietly, bothering no one. She looked like ... Thompson started to say, then stopped. He realized that anything he said would make him sound even worse. Judge Martinez looked at Maya more carefully. He noticed her uniform and the medals on it. He had been a military lawyer before becoming a judge. He knew what those medals meant. Ma'am, what is your rank in service? Judge Martinez asked respectfully. Lieutenant Commander Maya Johnson, United States Navy, Maya answered. I serve with Naval Special Warfare. Judge Martinez's eyes widened. Naval Special Warfare meant Navy SEALs. This young woman was one of the most elite soldiers in the world, and Officer Thompson had attacked her for no reason. Officer Thompson, Judge Martinez said, in a voice that could freeze water, you need to leave my courtroom immediately. I will be speaking with your supervisor about this incident. Thompson wanted to argue, but he could see that everyone in the room was against him. He had made a terrible mistake, and now everyone knew it. He walked toward the door with his head down, knowing that his life was about to change in ways he had never imagined. After Officer Thompson left the courtroom, Judge Martinez asked everyone to sit down. The room was still buzzing with excitement from what they had just seen. People were whispering to each other and looking at Maya with new respect. Lieutenant Commander Johnson, Judge Martinez said, please approach the bench. Maya walked forward to the front of the courtroom. She moved with the same confident steps she had used when she first entered the building. But now everyone understood why. She walked that way. They could see that she was a real soldier who had earned the right to be proud. I apologize for what just happened, Judge Martinez said quietly, so only Maya could hear. Officer Thompson's behavior was completely unacceptable. Are you injured? Do you need medical attention? No, Your Honor, Maya replied. I am fine. Thank you for asking, Judge Martinez nodded. I want you to know that not everyone in this building thinks like Officer Thompson. Most of us have great respect for people who serve our country. I understand, Your Honor, Maya said. I know that one person's actions do not represent everyone else. Just then, the courtroom door opened again. A man in a police uniform walked in quickly. He looked worried and upset. This was Captain Williams, the head of courthouse security. Someone had called him to report what Thompson had done. Captain Williams walked straight to Judge Martinez. Your Honor, I came as soon as I heard. Is Lieutenant Commander Johnson all right? She appears to be fine, Judge Martinez replied. But I think you need to hear what happened. Captain Williams turned to look at the people in the courtroom. Would someone please tell me exactly what Officer Thompson did? Several people started talking at once again. But Judge Martinez pointed to the woman in the business suit who had been recording with her phone. Ma'am, you were filming. Can you show us what you captured? The woman nodded and held up her phone. I started recording when I saw the security guard grabbing her. I got most of it on video. Captain Williams watched the video with growing anger and embarrassment. He could see Thompson grabbing Maya's arms. He could see Thompson pushing her against the wall. He could see Maya defending herself with quick professional moves that left Thompson on the floor. This is terrible, Captain Williams said when the video ended. Lieutenant Commander Johnson, I am deeply sorry for how you were treated. Officer Thompson's actions were completely wrong. Maya nodded politely. She was not angry anymore. She could see that Captain Williams was a good man who wanted to do the right thing. I understand that Officer Thompson does not represent your entire department, Maya said. I hope this situation can be handled appropriately. Captain Williams looked at Judge Martinez. Your Honor, I need to know more about Lieutenant Commander Johnson's service record. If you don't mind me asking, ma'am, what did you do in the Navy? Maya was quiet for a moment. She did not usually talk about her military service with strangers. Some of the things she had done were classified. Other things were too personal to share. I have served in special operations for 8 years, Maya said simply. I have completed 3 combat tours overseas. Captain Williams looked impressed, but he wanted to know more. Those medals on your uniform, what are they for? Maya looked down at her chest. She had so many medals that she sometimes forgot they were there. To her, they were just part of her uniform, but to other people, they told an amazing story. This one is the Bronze Star, Maya said, pointing to a medal with a bronze star in the center. I received it for actions during a rescue operation in Afghanistan. The people in the courtroom leaned forward to hear better. They had all heard of the Bronze Star. It was one of the highest awards a soldier could receive. What kind of rescue operation? Captain Williams asked. Maya was uncomfortable talking about this, but she could see that people needed to understand who she really was. Our team was sent to rescue American hostages who were being held by enemy fighters. The mission was successful. All the hostages came home safely. Judge Martinez whistled softly. How many hostages? 12, Maya said, including 2 children. The courtroom was completely quiet now. Everyone was staring at Maya with amazement. This young woman had risked her life to save 12 people, including children, and Officer Thompson had treated her like a criminal. What about this medal? Captain Williams asked, pointing to another medal on Maya's uniform. The Purple Heart, Maya said quietly. I was wounded during the rescue operation. How badly wounded? Judge Martinez asked with concern. Maya touched her left shoulder. Bullet wound. I was back on duty in 6 weeks. The woman who had been recording put her hand over her mouth. You were shot while saving those people? Maya nodded. It was part of the job. We all knew the risks when we signed up. Captain Williams shook his head in disbelief. Officer Thompson attacked a decorated war hero, a woman who was wounded while saving American lives. I prefer not to be called a hero, Maya said. I was just doing what I was trained to do. My team members were the real heroes. Some of them did not come home from that mission. This made the situation even worse in Captain Williams's mind. Maya was not only a decorated soldier, but she was also humble about her service. She honored her fallen comrades instead of bragging about her own accomplishments. Lieutenant Commander Johnson, Captain Williams said, I need to ask you some questions about Officer Thompson's behavior. Will you be willing to make a formal complaint? Maya thought about this carefully. She did not want to ruin Thompson's life, but she also knew that he might treat other people the same way he had treated her. Other people might not be able to defend themselves the way she had. Yes, Maya said finally, I will make a formal complaint. But I want you to know that I do not wish any harm to Officer Thompson. I hope he can learn from this experience and become a better person. Captain Williams was amazed by Maya's kindness. Even after being attacked and humiliated, she was still concerned about Thompson's well-being. You are a better person than he deserves, Captain Williams said. But I promise you that this matter will be handled properly. Judge Martinez looked at his watch. We need to get this courtroom ready for the morning's cases. But Captain Williams, I want a full report on this incident by the end of the day. You'll have it, Your Honor, Captain Williams promised as people started to leave the courtroom. Many of them stopped to speak to Maya. The older man who had first spoken to the judge came over to shake her hand. Thank you for your service, young lady, he said with tears in his eyes. My son was in the army. I know how hard military life can be. The woman in the business suit also came over. I've already posted that video online, she said. People need to see how wrong that security guard was. They also need to see what a real American hero looks like. Maya was embarrassed by all the attention, but she was polite to everyone. She thanked them for their support and for standing up for her. When Thompson was attacking her, but Maya was also thinking about Officer Thompson. She wondered what would happen to him now. She wondered if he had a family who depended on his job. She wondered if he would learn from this experience or if it would just make him more angry and bitter. Maya had seen many people in her military career. Some people learned from their mistakes and became better. Other people let their mistakes destroy them. She hoped Thompson would choose to learn and grow, but she was not sure he would. What Maya did not know was that Thompson was already facing serious consequences for his actions. The video of him attacking her was spreading quickly on social media. His supervisors were meeting to discuss his future. His career in law enforcement was probably over, but Maya also did not know that her actions that day would inspire many people. The video would show the world what it looked like when someone stood up to injustice with courage and dignity. It would remind people that real heroes come in all colors and all sizes. Most importantly, it would show other young women that they could be strong and brave, just like Lieutenant Commander Maya Johnson. 2 hours later, the courtroom was full again. Maya sat in the same bench where she had been sitting when Officer Thompson first approached her, but now everything was different. People in the courtroom looked at her with respect and admiration. Some people had come just to see the woman who had defended herself against the racist security guard. Maya's brother Marcus was sitting at the front table with his lawyer. Marcus had heard about what happened to his sister. He was angry that someone had treated her badly, but he was also proud of how she had handled the situation. When Marcus first saw Maya in her uniform that morning, he had felt embarrassed. He was embarrassed that his decorated sister had to come to court because of his problems, but now he felt different. He was proud to be Maya's brother. He was proud that everyone could see what an amazing person she was. Judge Martinez entered the courtroom and everyone stood up. He looked much more serious than usual. Word had spread throughout the courthouse about what Officer Thompson had done. Many of the courthouse employees were embarrassed and angry. "Please be seated," Judge Martinez said. "Before we begin today's cases, I want to address what happened in this courtroom earlier today." The room was completely quiet. Everyone wanted to hear what the judge would say about the incident. This morning, a decorated military officer was attacked in this courtroom by a security guard who was supposed to protect her, Judge Martinez began. "This is not acceptable. It will never be acceptable." Maya felt uncomfortable being the center of attention, but she sat quietly and listened. "Lieutenant Commander Maya Johnson came to this courthouse to perform her civic duty," Judge Martinez continued. "She came to speak on behalf of her brother, as is her right as an American citizen. Instead of being treated with the respect she deserves, she was grabbed, pushed, and assaulted by someone who was supposed to keep her safe." Some people in the courtroom started clapping, but Judge Martinez raised his hand for quiet. "I want everyone to know that Officer Thompson has been suspended without pay," Judge Martinez announced. "He will face criminal charges for assault and civil rights violations. His actions do not represent the values of this courthouse or this community." Maya was surprised to hear this. She had not expected Thompson to face criminal charges so quickly. She felt sorry for him, even though he had treated her badly. "Furthermore," Judge Martinez said, "I have ordered sensitivity training for all courthouse security personnel. We will also be reviewing our hiring and training procedures to make sure this never happens again." Captain Williams stood up in the back of the courtroom. "Your Honor, if I may add something." "Please proceed, Captain Williams." "Lieutenant Commander Johnson has agreed to help us develop new training programs for our security staff," Captain Williams said. "She will help us teach our officers how to treat all people with dignity and respect, regardless of their race or appearance." Maya had agreed to this earlier when Captain Williams asked her. She thought it was important to try to prevent other people from being treated the way Thompson had treated her. "I think that is an excellent idea," Judge Martinez said. "Now, let's proceed with this morning's cases." The case of the state versus Marcus Johnson. Marcus and his lawyer stood up. Maya watched her brother walk to the front of the courtroom. Marcus looked nervous, but he also looked determined to tell the truth about what had happened on the road that day. The prosecutor presented his case first. He said that Marcus had intentionally hit the other driver's car because he was angry about being cut off in traffic. He called the other driver to testify. The other driver was a middle-aged white man named Mr. Peterson. He told the court that Marcus had followed him for several blocks after being cut off. He said that Marcus had rammed his car on purpose in a parking lot, but when Marcus's lawyer asked Mr. Peterson questions, his story started to change. Mr. Peterson admitted that he had been talking on his phone when he cut off Marcus. He admitted that he had made a rude gesture at Marcus when Marcus honked his horn. He also admitted that the parking lot where the accident happened was icy and slippery. Then it was time for Marcus to testify. He told the court that he had not followed Mr. Peterson on purpose. He said they just happened to be going to the same shopping center. Marcus explained that when he tried to park his car, it slid on the ice and hit Mr. Peterson's car. "I got out of my car right away to see if he was hurt," Marcus said. "I apologized and offered to pay for the damage. I never intended to hit his car." The lawyer asked Marcus about his background. Marcus told the court about his job at the community center. He talked about the basketball team he coached. He explained how he helped take care of their mother. "Your Honor," Marcus's lawyer said, "I would like to call a character witness for my client." "Please proceed," Judge Martinez said. "I call Lieutenant Commander Maya Johnson." Maya stood up and walked to the witness stand. She put her hand on the Bible and promised to tell the truth. Then she sat down and looked at her brother with love and pride. "Lieutenant Commander Johnson," the lawyer said, "what is your relationship to the defendant?" "Marcus is my younger brother," Maya said clearly. "How long have you known him?" Maya smiled slightly. "His whole life. He is 5 years younger than me." "Can you tell the court what kind of person Marcus is?" Maya thought for a moment about how to describe her brother. There were so many good things she could say about him. "Marcus is one of the kindest people I know," Maya began. "When we were children, he always stood up for kids who were being bullied, even when the bullies were bigger than him. He has always been willing to help anyone who needed help." "Can you give the court some specific examples?" "When our neighbor, Mrs. Garcia, fell and broke her hip last winter, Marcus went to her house every day after work to help her with groceries and cooking," Maya said. "He did this for 2 months, and he never asked for anything in return." Maya told the court about how Marcus had started the basketball team for kids who could not afford to play in other leagues. She explained how he used his own money to buy equipment for kids whose families could not afford it. "Marcus has never been violent," Maya said. "Even when we were children, he would walk away from fights instead of hitting back. Our mother taught us that violence is never the answer to problems." "Lieutenant Commander Johnson," the prosecutor said when it was his turn to ask questions, "you weren't there when the accident happened. How do you know your brother is telling the truth?" Maya looked directly at the prosecutor. "Because I know my brother's character. In 28 years, I have never known Marcus to lie about anything important. If he says the accident was not intentional, then it was not intentional." The prosecutor tried to make Maya admit that she might be wrong about her brother. But Maya answered every question calmly and confidently. She never got angry or defensive. She just told the truth about what kind of person Marcus was. When Maya was finished testifying, she returned to her seat. She could see that her words had made an impression on Judge Martinez and everyone else in the courtroom. After hearing all the evidence, Judge Martinez made his decision. "Based on the testimony I have heard today, I find that this was an accident caused by icy conditions and poor visibility. Mr. Johnson, you are not guilty of intentional assault." Marcus felt like a huge weight had been lifted from his shoulders. He turned to look at Maya, and she gave him a big smile and thumbs up. "However," Judge Martinez continued, "you are responsible for the property damage to Mr. Peterson's vehicle. You will pay for the repairs and attend a defensive driving course." Marcus nodded. This was fair. He had never argued that he should not pay for the damage to Mr. Peterson's car. After court was over, Maya and Marcus walked out of the courthouse together. There were several news reporters waiting outside. They wanted to interview Maya about what had happened with Officer Thompson. "Lieutenant Commander Johnson," one reporter called out, "how do you feel about Officer Thompson being arrested?" Maya stopped and thought about her answer carefully. She knew that whatever she said would be on television and in newspapers. "I feel sad that the situation escalated the way it did," Maya said. "I hope Officer Thompson will use this experience to learn and grow as a person. I also hope that other people will learn from this incident." "What do you want people to learn?" Another reporter asked. "I want people to learn that you cannot judge someone by the color of their skin or by how they look," Maya said. "I want people to learn that everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. Do you think Officer Thompson is racist?" A third reporter asked, and Maya was quiet for a long moment. This was a difficult question to answer. "I think Officer Thompson made some very poor choices today," Maya said finally. "I hope he will take this opportunity to examine his attitudes and his behavior. I hope he will get the help he needs to become a better person." 3 months later, Maya received a letter in the mail. It was from Officer Thompson. He had been fired from his job and was facing criminal charges. But he had also been going to counseling to deal with his prejudices and his anger. In the letter, Thompson apologized for attacking Maya. He admitted that he had treated her badly because of her race. He said that he was ashamed of his behavior and was working to change.